Hello, this is Divine Unisouls, and this is Divine Sunshine. This is our channel. And so I am coming to you. I came straight from upstairs. I have a reading to do today. Yes, I am still doing readings. Just doing a lot of things out in the world, and we see that a lot of us have been called into the world to do some things and help out and use our gifts into the actual physical world and out of the spiritual community. And I'm one of them that's using and finding out how I can be able to use both in order to help out with things that are going on into the world. So I'm giving a new view because I got rollers in my head and I'm not 100% um, there looking my glamorous self, which doesn't really matter because I really would come on for with rollers and that's it. And we know that I'm known for doing that. Um, how you doing, as Wendy Williams say? It's a lot of things from the last time I seen you. I did video of learning how to be vulnerable, learning how to be open, healing. In my channel I always say that I am divine masculine advocate, the energies, knowing how to operate in our willpower and going out there and going, and understanding that one of the big things that we have to learn here and those who are dominated in that energy is how to be able to resonate in our divine feminine energies and to heal, how to just be, how to look and observe things. And that is the empathy, the understanding to see much deeper with things in our divine feminine energies and how to be able to marry the two energies and be able to operate in that balance in this world of duality and how to float and also manage the shadow, which is a lot. So I'm going to just tap in and just see what are the energies that we are doing right now. What are we doing? Clear. What is the big things? We've had the portal, the 8-8, the Lion's Gate going on, and in that energies, we knowing that everything when we talk about that Leo energies is definitely coming with the heart as well. Learning how to be able to tailor that ambition. I've heard people left and right talk about ambition. You got to watch it. We got such a drive with this Leo energies that we just had. And it just really driving us that we've got to learn how to kind of temper some things and learn how to really be confident in those things too as well. And so right now we see, interesting enough with me just saying that, we have us learning. It's really a big emphasis on learning how to be that divine masculine energies and to be able to hold that heart and to me look like to be very at ease, very relaxed in that energy as well. This is what we are operating in. I call it the Fabio, which is outside of us, to me, putting on that front as if we really do have a handle on it, but moving from that energies of I'm faking it to I'm making it into I'm actually doing. I remember when I was teaching, that was one of my, in my first class, and I remember one student coming back and telling me like, you know what, Miss B, um, when you told us that, that was something that was a saying and I kept on in life, which is true. Sometimes you have to allow that ego to get you into places and then, check the ego at the door and say, okay, now I can take over. Because the ego can drive that ambition to overdrive. And we just have to find how we can be able to balance that zeal in everything that we do. So for me, when I look at this is like, again, understanding is it's interesting. It's got like a heart, not on the sleeve, but like I said, we are moving into that energies of understanding how we can be able to be vulnerable, have that heart on the sleeve, and not feel like we're being attacked. Because we're showing our heart in everything that it does. And I think right now the energies that we are in the world, we're moving into those energies of having an authentic heart and showing that to people. This is my passion. This is what I love. This is what I am really falling in love with, and not feeling like, okay, I got to be on guard for saying this is what I love, no matter how weird, how absurd to other people it is. That we're moving to that understanding that some people just have a respect for things that are going against the norm, and this is what we're moving into. As well, and embracing that is in within ourselves, that uniqueness too as well. um, there is some stress, some things about that. This is also hostilities and aggression. Uh, might be as far as the energies that we're dealing with in the divine masculine energies, is both of those things as far as in our willpower. Just really wanted to just like again take off some heads, wield the sword to make it happen. And this is in the divine masculine energies that we have, and we got to kind of like watch that. That is really influencing us, to be able to push things in this energy that we have, and that's what's going on with us. He looks like he's on defensive mode, and sometimes when you're on the defensive mode on some things, you're like, what? Those things, you're not being able to actually hear things for what they are. And so I would say that this sword, whenever I see the sword or up and not in the ground, that means you got to watch what kind of truth that you are actually seeing. um you need that truth to be more grounded. So watch when you making any type of actions, I would say at this time. Make sure that you have it in the air, the sword in the air, also to get divine connection to things. But then also once you get it, to make sure you ground. So I would say before you make any kind of decisions, make sure that you are checking in with source, before you do it. Pray, stop, meditate, get silent with it, and then move into those energies. So we're going to see what, because what's going on that we're destined. I see that, excuse me, my little furry daughters got a hold of the card. I found it one day underneath the bed, all chewed up. And I'm like, what? And so I was like, well, I'm still using the card. I'm not buying another deck because it still has the energies that I need. So we have here pleasure. So we're moving into things as pleasure, and that to be here with the stairs is saying that we've got to level up to this. We're leveling up, and through these leveling up, we are finding pleasures to that. There's an archway, which means it's a gateway, a new pathway that we are, a new portal being opened up for us to walk through. I see this deer here too as well. To me is again is the innocence of it, the purity of like when you're seeing a baby deer, the awe of it, the wanting to nurture it, want to take care of it, want to respect the beauty and the rawness of this nature of this thing. And so as you're going through this, I see a moon there too. These illusions, and not even think of illusions, but able to be able to use your intuition and your awareness to really see things as they are as you're moving through this portal and this gateway. To be, there's a tenderness and this pleasure that you're finding in it now. There's more authentic, more of a nature coming with it, and this is what you're destined for. There's some new adventures that are coming in, and that's why I was saying again, and this, it looks like it's paradise, these adventures, but it's also going to come to you with an understanding of a transformation too, as well. These are birds, but I don't know why when I looked at them I seen butterflies because it was upside down. There is some, again, some ascending that's going on. There is some going to new heights on some things, and I'm seeing water being poured in, which would be like spirit, like I said, and getting those downloads, cleansing you. Um, Spiritually, and these emotions, watching the current of these emotions as you're going through all these adventures. But then again, like I said, remember that you are that bird. It's got a parrot. Looks like a yes. um in these adventures, and since it looks like a parrot to me, or you might say it's a canary or whatever like that, I would say make sure you're watching what you're parroting, which means what are you copying after or imitating or mimicking to, as well as you're going into these adventures. Make sure that you are taking the road less traveled or beaten to your own path if you're doing this. Um, it's okay also when you're doing things that are new that you also use things. I think about people saying, hey, I got the key to help you to get this business. If you do the steps I give you, you'll be able to have the success or the millions that I do. um I would say yes, use those things that have been that you've seen guaranteed ways in which for you to be able to do this. But I'm noticing that this one bird here is here and still grounded, um, not following the path of the rest of the ones that are taking flight as well. And I would say make sure that you mold it and take it in as your own storyline or make it your own in this adventure, as well as you're seeing others flying and taking on these ventures, even if you're buying into some kind of program or something that somebody has shown you, that you still have to take your own path. They say at least the resistance as well. And don't be afraid if there is some resistance that's on here, because when I see this river here, I think about like salmon and how they are able to swim upstream to either to give birth or whatever those things is too. And so that lets me know that sometimes maybe you're trying to take this dream or this adventure might be a path that not everybody might say you might be going against the norm of the other people that's around you. I'm thinking about this, like I say, a parrot. Yeah, you're a parrot. We're in this matrix of things and the programs of things to kind of like do everything the same thing, the same way. However, again, we're looking for what makes us happy. We're looking for our bliss. We're looking for our own paradise. And that's the thing that we're destined into. That's what they're saying about pleasure. And remember that whatever we're doing here, there's power, there's divine power, there's power outside of ourselves that's electrifying the circumstances or the situations to be able to work in our and for our highest good, for our benefits. And we have to remember that again, that we've got the power. And even if we don't, we forget about that. We're not looking for power outside of ourselves. And it looks like when I'm looking at these clouds here, even when things look cloudy, it look like there's no solution in sight, we have to remember that again, that it's still divine intervention. That's true as well. It's going to be playing a part for you to be able to have these adventures that you're seeking for. So some of you all, whoever is watching and this has found you, you are going to be going on an adventure, whether it's a trip or you're doing something new. And the thing is the adventure, like they say, the love boat, exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you on the love boat. I was saying, the love boat. So you be given another run. Whatever, the love boat. So again, adventures. This is adventures of love on this journey in which will bring you pleasure, that will make you happy. Because the lessons that you are learning right now in these energies that the universe wants you to know, clear, is to surrender. Even like I said, when these things don't look like they're going your way, I'm seeing this flow of power. Everything is divine. Everything is coming above, which again is divine intervention, divine power. Things are working here. You have to remember this to be able to just release and go. You embrace the Yamaya spirit, which is the divine feminine energies, understanding the flow, to be able to accept and to embrace your emotions. That's that water here. As to where is it flowing you? Is it might flow you up, go against stream, the natural flow of things, or is it going with the stream? But there is a surrendering in it, because the more that you try to stop the flow of the river, the more you will hurt and damage yourself, or the flow of where life and your emotions are taking you to. So to release that, Also, it's they understand that you're moving in and you're heavily influenced. They want you to know right now, and these energies is grief. Understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. And so there is a certain amount of first thing that they bring to me is, since this is in the color orange, your connections to something, your connections to a person, place, a thing, those things. You got to start grieving that, grieving the things as far as, like, even if it's yourself, you're going through a grieving process because this is new. These adventures, this journey where it's taking you to, you're letting go of the old self that you had known, and you're moving into a new self that you are now, through your challenges and your trials and tribulations, is now creating for you. This is it's time to grieve, to let go. I think about how I had a friend who was saying that they had not grieved the passing of one of their relatives, and it's like it just hit me that I have not actually grieved it well. Some of us are still kind of, some things have not grieved well. We've taken it out on other people, and really have had distractions, not really had addressed the elephant that's in the room, which is actually saying, hey, I've got to really actually, um, this thing that maybe in the past had been let go, or now you're coming to and you're saying, hey, you know what, this is really not working for me no more. I've seen in a lot of the readings here, I'm a trend. I'm like TMZ. I'm looking for trends. I'm looking for things. And I'm seeing a lot of these channels. People are saying again that, it's starting to let go. Let go the job, let go the person. It's all. So again, in my TD Jake's sounding voice, get ready, get ready, get ready. We are all getting ready to let go of something of value, something that has served its purpose, something that is no longer needing, it does no longer, they're saying, having value in doing this thing or having this thing in our life, or this certain way of doing things or methods of doing things has served a purpose, and it's no longer feels good doing it in that way. And so we have to move into this. Interesting. The next card is to be honest. I didn't even look at it. I've been holding it in my hand. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. And when I read that, I think of, I can't look on the outside, like I say, these parents, these friends out here where everybody else is doing it the same way. I can't look and say, well, Tom is doing it that way, or Sally is doing it this way, or Shanika or Keisha is doing it this way. Maybe I should be doing it. Notice the bird here saying, I'm getting grounded. I'm looking for my own paradise. I'm looking for my own adventures that might not go along with that. And I've seen that as a constant theme in patterns in other ones as well, that they're saying, you got to find yourself. You can't look at the source of everybody else to really tell you what should be happening with you. You got to become honest. And that's what that grieving, after you become honest with yourself, you have to grieve. Or after you grieve, you're going to start moving and having your being in honesty. The downloads, I'm seeing this color purple here, and I'm seeing blue here, which is again being your communications. You're going to be honest with yourself. And I'm seeing green here. Your heart is going to push that through to as well. And then I'm seeing also the third eye is also going to help you to envision what really is honest, and it's going to be like a gauge as to telling you, like, hey, yeah, you're going on the right path, because I can see it. This is what I envision myself as, what's really going to bring me pleasure, what's really so that pleasure that I'm seeking is going to bring the adventures that I seek. And I know we always say this is a journey. And I remember Kathy D saying, no, we need to change it and say it's an adventure, because the journey seems like it's so long, it's so tiring, some is so tedious. But if you're doing an adventure, it's going to be some fun, it's going to be some challenges, you're going to laugh along the way, and then you're going to cheer and clap and really give yourself a pat on the back because you have accomplished that. When you take a journey, like, oh my God, it's just like, you like the Papa Smurf, I call it, syndrome. It's like, I remember on the Smurfs, they used to say, how much further, Papa Smurf? He's like, not much further. And they holler again, how much further, Papa Smurf? He's like, not much further. And it would go back and forth till you could see in the cartoon, it was getting on Papa Smurf's nerve. Like, I said, not much further. And before you know it, it's like, we're here. I said, oh, it's time to ask. And so we have to, again, change our outlook of how we are looking at things to see it from a point of view of this is an adventure. And it does, it lightens up, it changes the energy, it gives change the whole vibration of things, and it also attracts. My big thing now that I'm learning on this adventure is the intentionality that we're setting forth, and how we've got to really just like and set the intentions and let it go, and just let it flow. And this is where we actually are right now, because some things are changing. What is our transformation that we're pretty much going through right now through these energies? Clear, it's all play and these retrogrades, is realizations and epiphanies, and that is true. We are seeing on these adventures things through these downloads, these divine interventions, that's being brought to us. Everything is coming download, coming towards you from heaven, which means again, or from the 50 or higher up, and then bringing it down to us, is helping us to be able, now I'm seeing the color blue here, transforming our communications. That means how do we connect to each other, whether it is verbal or non-verbal. Um, like I said, watching the words, watching the language, having epiphanies about that. My God, I sure do say I feel tired a lot. Oh, wait a second, let me change that. Or I say I am tired. And I'm like, okay, you got to kind of change that to now to saying I feel tired. That is it. And I said, do you really feel tired? Like, no, I feel energetic, but it just feels like something that's just not right. So again, having those epiphanies, those talking to yourself, because you're getting honest with yourself. You're getting honest now, with yourself, and you're starting to see things and understanding the expectations, like I said, and stopping to look for other people to act a certain way and say, you know what, I like they used to say at my church that I am the thinker that thought that thinks the thoughts that makes the things, and so understanding from that point that these realizations and epiphanies are going to come. Those are the ways that, Spirit is giving you confirmation about some things. Spirit's telling you, okay, change the way you're thinking on some things, and helping you to have a new direction. Because I'm seeing this color yellow here, which is going to help you to stand truly into your power. As well. So you're transforming the way things are being communicated, the way things you're seeing, the world, how the world is communicating to you, how you're communicating to it. And so that's what you're changing right now. Okay. The shadow work that we got to work on. Okay. So what is it that, again, and the shadow is the things, the negative things that come up in us, clear. Sometimes it's from the place of ego that it is like, okay, and it's kind of stopping us, it's overshadowing the light, that we're carrying within ourselves, or the light energies, and becoming more heavy and more darker. Those things, when we're talking about shadow, just overshadowing you from being able to really see and be the great being that you are, is triumphs of lies. Interesting again, here we have right here the honesty. And it got trying. Now you see me pull it straight from the box. It doesn't come in. And I'm like other people saying, again, I love it when Spirit brings that clarity in. In this card you see here, this card is showing where this person has got a lot of clothes around it. Clothes to me represents there's a lot of identity, a lot of things that you're trying to identify with. You're trying on a lot of personas. You're trying on egos. You're trying on things. I'm trying on this, saying, hey, do I want to be a teacher. Oh, I'm trying on this. I seen somebody say you might be a good teacher. Well, let me try that on. Okay, I'm saying somebody saying, oh, you might be a good supervisor. I mean, a good superintendent. Okay, let me try that on for side. Let me see. Nah, that don't kind of fit. I'm taking that off. You know, and so it's really trying on a lot of things, but the thing is, what it's saying, triumphant lies, is that again, what is it that I am sitting in that I really need to kind of really become one and really seeing it for what it is. And so you need to ask your angels, your guides, yourself, and higher self to say, can you really truly just show me what is the divine truth? Because I got cards that's called that. Divine truth about this situation. What is the divine truth of who I am? It's got this crown, the divinity of me being great. What am I supposed to be actually doing? What is it that I'm letting things fear, false evidence appear real in my life that I really say I should let go and I really have more power, triumph over this lie? This lie that I'm telling myself that, hey, you know, I need this money, I need this job, when I'm saying I go in there, this 9 to 5 is getting on my nerves. What is this triumphant lie that I need to accomplish where I'm saying, well, I got to stay in this marriage because, you know, I got the kids, everybody counting on me, you know, I got this kind of persona that I'm portraying like I'm in this happy life and happy marriage or with happy wife, and at the end of the day when we go home we can't stand each other, or it's just like I'm just going through the motions. It's just a marriage of convenience, or it's a marriage of comfort. It's not anything else. There's no passion, there's no pleasure, there's no adventures in it. We have adventures, but that's not truly um, that. It's just superficial. What do I need to triumph again from this? Because right now some of us again is like, you know, they got the emoji that say I'm just dead. Is still in the essence of really our soul, which is what soul resonates as our heart, and that's where our passion and our bliss is housed. And we're just going through the motion. We just dead, just doing it. You know, trying to look good doing it, but this is not actually us. So, and I see the number one. So we need to get into unity, get into alignment. With what it is and triumph over this lie. This is the shadows. It's something that we're telling ourselves. This is something we allow other people to tell us. That you know you're trapped in it. You know, well, you married, you supposed to stay to death do you part. No, that's a use a lie. I get me saying that. And I was like, that ain't gonna use a lie. Ain't gonna do that. Use a lie. So that is something that we have to keep in mind about the lies you tell, or the lies you tell about to yourself and others. You're allowed to do that. You also hear they're saying again, hiding your true self. So again, and she's in red. You got to get grounded and rooted into this here. When I see the color red, I'm thinking also about what lies has been told to you through ancestral. You know, hey, we the Bookers, we the Johnsons. Johnsons don't do nothing. We just deal. Yeah, we just, you know, all we good is for. Let me see what kind of lie could somebody say. You know, the divorce rate is high. You know, your grandmama divorced, your mom divorced, and so then I'm destined to be divorced too, because that's the way the Johnsons do. We just do that. You know, we got from a family of abuse, and you know, it's always your great grandfather beat on your mama. You know, that's a kind of, to me, an ancestral lie that's just been passed on. You know, we just work. That's it. You know, we don't aspire to do nothing else. We don't aspire to be anything else. That's just it. So that's another and that's coming to me when I think about the root chakra, the ancestral. What kind of ancestral lie is saying? Well, you know, mama had high blood pressure. You know, and she died from heart attack. So, you know, I got high blood pressure, and so you probably gonna be destined to have high blood pressure. You know, those things like that. Um, and that's hiding for true self. No, you don't have to. Like I had read somewhere, they were saying, you know, the only thing that's hereditary is sickle cell. Otherwise, that is learned from your environment. That's learned from your eating habits. That's learned from how you, the epigenetics of it all, the spirituals passing on because of that energy that you're passing on. And so that's why, yeah, you have that too as well, because it's the way the habits, the eating habits of the family, why you got diabetes. You know, we do this X, Y, and Z, and that's really not who you are hiding. And so I'm looking at this picture. She kind of almost looked like she's looking at herself. And so you really are not being your version of yourself. Um, Through this shadow, whatever you're telling yourself, allowing the ego to tell you what's going on with you. You know, the ego tries to protect, and that's his job. And sometimes it's like, hey, sometimes the ego is good. You could get into this. To do this and push you into situations too as well, and that's great. Sometimes, you know, hey, you need to talk. I need to talk up for my business, although I'm an introvert. But then I really need to make connections and network with other people. And I can't be to myself because nobody will know how great my program and my thing is. I've got to get out there. And so the ego will kind of create this persona of Sasha Fierce, the CEO, and like, hi, you know, and then you're like, who is this? And you're like, okay, that's fine. It gets you in the door. That's fine. Beautiful. Ego is pushing. You're like, hey, you got this dynamic thing. I don't know why you acting as if, you know, you're not a bag of chips. You're doing this. So you let it go on ahead and push you. It's just, again, when you do too much and it gets you into places like you're like, okay, now how did I get here? I don't know how to even talk my way out of these promises and this extra fluff and fanfare that I have done that you know, after a while people are expecting you to come in that with that persona, that grandioseness of yourself, and you're like, okay, but this ain't really me. So you gotta find a marrying of the two. It's like, hey, yeah, but then I gotta bring it back to say, okay, now where do divine sunshine kind of fits into this? Where is it that we can marry the two of them? I'm still dynamic sunshine, but then they let them know that, hey, there's some times that I might be in chilled mode on some things too as well. This is what we're talking about. Like, okay, the ego might get me in the door, but then now I got to present you the real, true divine sunshine. Okay, I can't keep on with this Sasha Fierceness, the CEO, executive, and this, and not at the same time, it's draining my energies to put up this persona. Then we're going back to being lying. We're not being honest, and we're not using integrity in everything that we do. So that's something that we have to kind of remember in doing that. So right now, the divine wisdom and how the universe wants us to deal with this, clear. It's like, what's the strategy? Well, how can we be able to deal with what's going on here? Is to, again, have a loyal heart. Okay, and what I mean by a loyal heart is I'm seeing both of it. We got the queen and the yin and the yang here. Make sure you're operating in this balance, that the divine masculine energies, your willpower to go get it out there, to do it, to stand in your power, your authority on things, is in agreement with your divine feminine energies, which is, again, being empathetic, again, observing things, and just being able to just be your natural default setting of who you are. Are you being, like I said, too much out there and this CEO executive, and at the same time, you know, and you pushing these projects and things like this, and at the same time, your divine feminine energy is like, can we just sit and watch a movie and just eat popcorn? No, 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 no. We got all these 50 million projects we got to do, and it's like, I'm telling you, I'm with you where we're going, but at the same time, you got to give me some time so I can sit and just process all this stuff that I'm doing and just kind of like let me just marinate in it. Okay. All right, we'll find the time. Or you got to watch the opposite. Divine Feminine say, I just want to be in this sit. And Divine Master's like, listen here, we got this project, this project, this project to do. But you keep on saying you want to sit. And I keep on telling you, we got to get the moving. And so you got to find a way to say, okay, all right, let me have from this time from 8 to 10, let me rest. And then from 12 to whatever to 4, we'll start working on projects. Okay, good. And we'll take many breaks. That's a marrying of the two. That's a loyal heart. But still, we know that, hey, we want to get this job done. We want to make this business dynamic. We're working together again. Or in the relationships, things of that nature like this. Okay, I'm gonna try whatever it is, this situation, and see, and just really sit down and say, okay, let's look. Do I really have the real power to still be in this relationship? Is the heart still saying, I got one more push? Okay, well, like I used to tell one of my friends, I'm gonna let you just go ahead and get it out your system until there is no more for you to willpower to do. You got to kind of find a balance of the two of it. It's like, again, finding the truth. Is it something the way I'm looking at this relationship, or is there really, as boys to men say, an end of the road to this? So this is, again, being loyal, but then looking towards each other, these energies, to get the signals from each other to say, hey, are we good where we are, or do we need to be doing something else? Are we in accordance with that? Having that heart and mind coherence in what you're doing. Observing, like I said, looking at each other, seeing again, is there something else we should do? Getting more fine tuned, using your intuition and awareness. Stop looking at the illusions of things, because right now you're sitting on a new beginning. And this is a fox step, which means you got to get clever and witty about how you're doing these things. And when you're having adventures, you need to have that cleverness. You need to have that wittiness. To me, which is like to see things, see the humor in it, see the solutions in it, and know how to be able to maneuver your way through some of these obstacles. That's what clever and wittiness is needed in order for. But in order for you to do that, you got to sit there and observe. You can't just go running on in like a bull in a china shop. In these things, this is what I was telling you about this truth. Watch it with the sword. Make sure that before you step into anything, that you are getting, you checking in with spirit, you checking in with your energies, your divine feminine, masculine energies. Like, are we on board with this? Or if the divine feminine energies within you say, if you take on one more project, I'm going to collapse and I'm going to call on a health challenge. Because I told you to slow down. I told you to give me a rest period. You ain't gave me that. So guess what? Now I'm calling in a health challenge to come in to make you sit down and hear me say, I want a timeout. Okay? So you have to watch that. But in all things, you're moving into the energies to understanding through all of this, you're still blessed. My new thing is now I'm seeing here is, again, because of the religion or the spiritual practices that I had growing up. Um, and it's not fault of their own, it made it seem as if, again, that, and that's religion, period. Like, you did something to cause this, you did something to make these bad things happen. And I listened to a video on Facebook from one of my friends, and their son was saying about sometimes these things, he was just going through prophetic, just letting the spirit give him a download, and he was saying this out of the mouth of use, and that's where our use are. They really are coming with this truth from straight from the fifth D on into the planes behind the veil, and just giving it to us straight with no chaser. They are the TMZ. And so with that, saying that, you know what, these things come because they make us stronger. Sometimes it ain't got nothing to do with you did something wrong. It's because of what you ask. And somebody showed a clip from that movie God, where they had Morgan Freeman playing it in it. Where they had redid it, it was George Burns there, and he's like, when you all are asking this stuff, when you ask for courage in a situation, you think I haven't given it to you, but you know what? I give you a situation to make you have courage. You asking about this great love. I give you a situation for you to be able to practice and to strengthen your love. And that's love. You're looking for the guy Fabio to come in with the heart and stuff like that. And you say, that's what I asked for. And I told my bestie this morning, I say, well, I need God not to get on the same wavelength of communication, because I said what I said and I said what I said, which means I wanted that form. I don't want it the way you got it. So it's like, okay, so again, understanding that even with these things that come, it's because it is, you are blessed. The universe, I call it the universe consciousness, or you call it God, or whoever, is saying, hey, if I give it to you like this, you won't really be able to recognize the value or understand the truth of what it is. You know, this is what you asked for. You want courage. I had to give you the situation so you can be courageous. I can't just point and say, there you go, you courage, you got courage, you're courageous now. Where's the test in and to know that I really am this? I got to give you the lesson in that, knowing that you're blessed. Like I said, religious want to say, this is coming to me. I did something wrong. Oh my God, I'm cursed. No. Start looking at things to say, I am blessed. Oh, that's a beautiful dialogue. I'm blessed. These things are coming here because I'm blessed. It's making me strong. It's making me be more grounded in that. Okay? Send me a man that I love. Okay? All right. I send you. You got all these different situations and things going on. But do you love him? Yes. Okay. Well, didn't I just send you what you asked for? Well, yeah, that's quite not what I asked for. But it is what I asked for. Ugh. Okay, so we had to watch again, like I said, of the terminology and the ways in which we use it and how we're communicating. But this is epiphany, okay, as well with that. What did I want to say? So give us a last thing that we need to be able to go out there to clear, to operate. Any last messages the Spirit wants to give us about while we're in these energies or how to operate, okay? Which is stand your ground. Didn't I tell you? I said this person, this is more grounded. You see me bring it right straight from me, put it down. Straight from the box. Stay grounded. Although your friends is flying all up here at the top here, doing all this extra stuff, but you make sure you stay grounded. Okay? Notice that she is balanced. She's got two versions of herself. This is you, the feminine and the masculine energies, making sure again that you're holding them. To me, this is like a balancer. This is a temperance, that you're tempering these and you're balancing, tempering the energies between the two. And right there, you know, that's the spirit, soul, and body. All of those energies have to all be together and stand your ground in what you want, in that truth. Okay? Next thing it says, have faith. Okay? Get crystal clear about it. Again, and get laser beam as to what you want. Okay, I want this. I'm going to sit here and allow, relax for this to actually happen. I set the intentions and I go forth moving in that. Everything that I do is set forth in that intention. If I want to have a successful business, I'm looking for and for me in my steps, everything that I'm doing. I'm looking for, even with the challenges that come in the getting the business or setting for the gym. These are blessings. These are not a curse. I did something wrong. It's something again to make me stronger so I can still set forth on that path of having a successful business. This is nothing but a reflection. I'm not going by the illusion. I'm not going by the fear. Evidence appearing real, false things appearing real. I am actually seeing this for what it is, which is it actually being a situation or an opportunity for me to be blessed by this. Okay. Next thing is self-care and integration. Didn't I say that? You have to allow. That's why the masculine energies can go out there, the willpower, and go out there and do it, do it, do it. You've got to prepare and let that divine feminine energies also do her thing, which is to be in the state of being empathetic, being practicing sympathy, and just being in that beingness, so you can let it marinate, let it integrate. You know, that's just like the same thing. Like when you cook in a steak or some kind of meat, and a lot of times you cook it and then they're like, okay, now let it rest. That's because everything, the seasonings, everything that has been done to it, it's got to become one. You got to let it integrate. If you're operating in that masculine energies where you're going, 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 getting, it doesn't allow things to settle. It doesn't allow things to kind of get into, they're showing me, into place. And so that's why, in society they like to say, well, you gotta work hard, and sometimes in that working hard, you don't allow things to really become one and to really get a firm foundation settled in. That same thing like when they lay concrete, or like I know when I'm waxing the floor, they like put one layer down, let it dry. Now if you out there say, well, okay, I'm gonna let it dry, I'm not gonna let it dry, I put it down, I'm gonna start buffing the floor. You didn't allow it to be able to dry. You didn't allow it to become one with your wood. You didn't allow it. So it's again, these things have got to kind of take place, and there's got to be a process that's got to do with that. And the last one here is, it says, is to be self-reliance. To practice self-reliance here, just like this cactus. Cactus is out there in the desert. The desert, it has no other source to go from. This is where we got to understand. We got to break that codependency of looking to others, these friends, being parody, and mimicking and imitating everything else that everybody else is out there. You got to be your own person, and you got to be your own goat. I think about Simone Biles and how with her the Olympics, and she was right there at the height of the thing, and she was just like, hey, that is a good example, very good, thank you, good example of the masculine and the feminine energies having that battle, that conversation, and say, hey, are we being really loyal to ourselves? Because she went out there and she went the first a couple of years ago, and then she went and did the gymnast stuff, and she did her routines and things in the competition, and she's like, okay. And she went, I watched the documentary on Netflix, and she went, did a couple of things on the balance beam or whatever like that, and then she's like, okay, this don't did is it the vault or one and two? She's like, this don't feel well. How come I ain't never did this before? So she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna shake it off. Maybe that's just one time I was just a little off. Okay, let's try this again. So she's like, that's my practice right now. Okay, now we're gonna do it one more time. Wait a second. Something ain't right. She telling the coach, I'm fine, I'm fine. It's like, nah, well, everybody else is in the competition. Maybe I just keep on pushing and doing it until she's like, you know what? I'm gonna stop. And then she got all the flack from everybody around her saying, fans and people that's observing, like, why she quit on the Olympics. And she's like, I needed that time out. I had to go back and go learn from the basics all over again. I had to, she was like, when she went to the gym, she did just a little bit, just the basics, just the feeling, the jumping around, just to kind of see, and she said each day she would layer a little bit more, and then, then she kind of find herself, they call it, what is the twisties. That's when and sometimes in life we're having that, the twisties, it's like pop, it's not coming together. I used to do this used to come together real easy for me. What's going on here? And you got to go back to basics. Like I say, you got to build that foundation again. And how you do that again is by, again, back to being that self-care. Let that divine feminine practice that empathy. It's okay. Hey, today we just rest. It's okay. That's healing the divine feminine energies from us that like to operate more so into that divine masculine energies, because like I said, it has, society has pushed us to say and believe that we've got to, that's that parroting mindset. We've got to work, 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 as Rihanna said, but we don't have to. And so then, as we see today, thank God she did do that. Like I watched in the documentary, they were saying, which was saying that if she had kept on, she could seriously, they say what they don't let you know is that you can seriously injure yourself. You can also die. You can break your neck. You can do all these things. So if you don't stop and say, hey, something ain't right here, we're doing too much, we're pushing, pushing, pushing for this gold and this medal, just wait. So sometimes we got to kind of sit and marinate in these things and really think. And then, as you see now, she's off the chain, metal, metal, metal everywhere. This here is a lesson. Don't listen to everybody else. Like I said, resilience. Listen to yourself. Yourself is the guru, is the guide to letting you know what you actually need to do. And this, again, I keep on saying road less travel, but again, here we see in this card, this is road less travel. Nobody else is on this road. But you know the path. You know the way. If you believe in your heart and you listen, it's going to guide you and tell you whichever way, because you already got the power. Divine intervention is at work and plan, because they also know that where this road is taking you to on this adventure is taking you to a place of pleasure. Okay, and so you have to be like that cactus. You got the water represents spirituality, your emotions. You've got to be a source within yourself and not look for everybody else. So you can be able to. Resilience means I had some things push me down, and I came right back up, just like that used car salesman, the little thing, balloon thing that flows with the wind and goes down and comes back up. Understanding that I have this, and so I know also on this journey we always want to know, hey, what is our person? That either is a twin soul, a divine mate, a soul mate, or whoever, divine lover, or twin, whatever like that, twin flame. What is it? Clear. Is this the message that they want to do? Because sometimes, again, that serves, like I tell the universe, consciousness, that sometimes that's a little fuel for us to understand that, you do need that. We here, we humans, we do need that, someone to love, or somebody, that divine thing, that we love ourselves first. Let's get that straight. But then it's also nice when you see it reflected back and from somebody else that's reflecting back to you. And so the thing is that they want to tell you is forgiveness. Okay? And it says nothing can be gained by holding on to past disappointments. And that's what it's saying. And some of us are believing that those past disappointments are stopping us from moving forward and moving into this, having this truth, because we are relying on this fear, false evidence appearing real. We're looking at these illusions. We're seeing this journey as a journey and something that's very hard to do. We're not looking at it adventures, and we're looking at, again, what I tell you about what we're saying, that this thing is, I'm cursed. You saying that, and saying, although these things come to me, I am blessed. This is not something for me to take personally. And if you're working on forgiveness, this is the feminine, that's the masculine. The feminine energies is the one that's going to help to heal that in the masculine energies within ourselves. That's going to be the way sure for that to say again, because that is. And so that's why I said we've got to heal that feminine, so that inner dialogue that we have will be one in which is more encouraging, more nurturing to self. And it's like, hey, that's all right. Hey, that's capping, like my friend said, fine, I got my alternator got to be done. Okay, all right, but guess what? It gave me a chance. I went to go pick her up. That gave me a little bonding time for my besties, for us and I to talk, in that. Just look in these things for blessing. Okay, I don't have a car for a day. That means the universe is letting me know, hey, I got to sit down. I got to sit down today, order that part, they come in Monday. Okay, so that's what I got to do. I got to sit down. Okay, this person is not in my life. I got the business. They stop talking to me. Okay, that's fine. Okay, then that just leaves room for either somebody to come in that wants to support me where I am, and then I still remember the things that we had, and I just love you from a distance. That doesn't take away from that. It's still a blessing in that. Maybe some things you got to go heal, some things I've got to go heal. But being honest with yourself and not lying, but making sure that you are still moving into the true self, that who you are. Okay, all right, that is it. It was a lot to say. Again, I hope that you stayed all the way to the end, to get the true message of how it's happening. But these are the energies. If this is a video that caught your eye and you say, hey, I want to look at it, guess what? This message is for you, and nothing happens by accident. Always, love you. Thank you. Smash the notification button to get any messages that, again, when I'm on here, that I feel inspired to come and talk and share about what some things that I've learned in this journey as well. And as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste and Namago. Mwah. Until next time, talking to you real soon.